Okay, I wanted to do that El Caprillion thing that Martinus Fine does every time he films a video in the evening. But anyway, good evening, everybody. Now it's time for episode 3 of Jack Talks, and this is the first episode I'm going to be reviewing a Disney film. So this is the first episode I'm going to be reviewing a Disney film. In fact, this Disney film I'm reviewing was the first Disney film ever made. Well, it wasn't like the first Disney thing ever, because we know the first one was Steamboat Willie in 1928, but this was the first feature-length animated movie, the one released in theaters and released back on December 21st, 1937. It's none other than Walt Disney's Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. I have 4 versions of it. I'll quickly show them. First, this is the original 1994 Masterpiece Collection VHS of Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, which I got. This was the very first Masterpiece Collection VHS ever released. I've had this since around 1994. Your spine. Back it says, a landmark in the history of animation. For previews, it does have this little thing with the late Roy Disney in there during the intro, in which in that intro, it has a preview for the theatrical release of Pocahontas, also a new thing that was discovered called Epcot, that's in the Disney parks, and also for the Masterpiece Collection VHS release of the Lion King. And I know there are 2 versions of this tape. I know there are some that open with the 1994 Walt Disney Masterpiece Collection logo, and some that open with the 1986 Walt Disney Home Video Sorcerer Mickey logo. This one opens with the Masterpiece. This copy opens with the Sorcerer Mickey logo. I know right here there's a peeled Blockbuster thing there, because this tape was released on October 28th, 1994, after its 1993 theatrical re-release, and it somehow. This used to belong to a Blockbuster video store, but then after that one moved away, they gave away some of their tapes, and this was one of the tapes we bought there that they were giving away. Here's the tape, ink label, print date August 7th, 1994. Okay, next we have the 2001 Platinum Edition VHS, and yup, T-Chick Certified doesn't creep me out. My Nana gave this tape to me back on the day of the Irene store in August of 2011. Spine. Back, Walt Disney's groundbreaking animated feature film, the first of its kind, still in the class by itself, saved by Leonard Maltin. And this tape does not have any previews on it. This is the only Platinum Edition that did not have any previews. See, here's the tape with the blue lid and the ink label. And the print date is September 26, 2001. But still printed about 12 days before the Platinum Edition DVD was released. Still, there you go with this VHS Snow White and Dwarfs. And we're not done with the Platinum yet, because I also have the DVD counterpart, and it says, all new immersive 2 DVD experience. Got this at the FYE store inside the Warwick Mall for Christmas. My mom got it for me for Christmas back in December 2011. Here's Spine. Back, the one that started it all is changing it all. The movie that defined animation is redefining DVD. So, here's disc 1, which has the movie, and it has Snow White. And here's disc 2 with the bonus features, and it has the Queen and the Magic Mirror. I'm going to show you the DVD guide. Yep, we got all these additional promos, which I'm not going to show. Here's the DVD guide. Open now. Begin your journey. Yep, there's a note from Roy Disney. Yep. 27 chapter selections. This is what's on disc 1. Here's the navigation overview for what's on disc 2. Oh, supplemental materials. The Legacy of Snow White. The making of a breakthrough DVD experience. Yep, it's Disney through the decades. And on the back it says, look for the next release of this prestigious Platinum Edition series, being released October 2002. I have that Platinum Edition. I will review that for a future episode. Okay, and the last version I have is the 2009 Diamond Edition DVD, which I also got this at FYE store inside Mall. I got this at the FYE store inside the South Kingston Mall back in March of 2012. Here's Spine. And the back it says, the greatest animated film of all time, saved by the American Film Institute. Gonna open this up. As you can see, here's disc 1, which has the movie, and it has Snow White. And here's disc 2 with the bonus features, and it has the 7 Dwarfs. Gonna get the DVD guide out for you now. Yep, we got the Disney Movie Rewards. I already entered that code in, and I think for Blu-ray. Here's the DVD guide. Immerse yourself in Snow White's enchanted world. Yep, same number of chapter sections. And on the back it says, look for the new releases in this prestigious collection, Beauty and the Beast and Fantasia 2000. I have the Diamond Edition of Beauty and the Beast, which, as I said, I also have the Platinum Edition. And I don't have the Fantasia 2 movie collection, but I do have the 2060th Anniversary Edition DVD of Fantasia and the 2000 DVD of Fantasia 2000. I will get a used copy of the Blu-ray of both of those, Beauty and the Beast and Fantasia. Alright, I'm now going to review what the film is. It opens with the Queen going up to the magic mirror in her castle, and she says the line, "Magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" And she actually explained, and then the magic mirror says that Snow White is, with the hair black as everly, skin as white as snow. Then we see Snow White working there, and she goes over to a well, and she sings that song to the animals that's known as the Beals, like, "Do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell?" And then a prince comes and meets Snow White. Of course, then Snow White walks away. The Queen then sends a huntsman. Snow White is later picking flowers because the Queen sends a huntsman to go and kill Snow White and bring her heart in a box. When the hunter's just about to kill her, the hunter says that he cannot do it. So then he tells Snow White to go run away in the forest, and then and then she runs into the forest. She meets some friendly animals, and they sing the song. With a smile and a song, and then they all meet, and then like they take Snow White to the dwarfs' cottage, and it's kind of messed up. So then they decide to clean it as they sing the song "Whistle While You Work." Then we go to see the dwarfs as you see them working in the diamond mine as they sing the song "Hi Ho." Oh, and then when they get home, they realize that the lights are on and something's inside. Then they look around their house and they don't see anything. And then they go upstairs and they find that Snow White was asleep in their beds. Then they meet each other, and then they're about to have soup, but then they have to wash their hands first. And then meanwhile, afterwards, while they're having their soup, we go back to the castle, and the Queen is asking the magic mirror who now is the fairest, and thanks to the magic mirror, he explains that the Snow White is still the fairest of them all by she's in the dwarf's cottage. And then the Queen goes to her dungeon, and then and then the Queen drinks this potion, which she turns into an old hag, a wicked witch, and she decides to come up with the idea by using mummy dust that turned her into an old woman, and then she's able to make a poisoned apple that would kill Snow White with one bite, but then that would actually, of course, then that would later be of course, then the spell would be broken if it was True Love's first kiss. And then the Queen leaves her castle and she's on her way to the dwarf's cottage. Then they go into the dwarf's cottage. Then we go back to the dwarf's cottage, and Snow White and all the 7 dwarfs are all having a lot of fun. They're doing the singing and the yodeling, dwarf's yodel song. And then they tell Snow White to tell them a story in which Snow White then turns it into a song, and it is the song "Someday My Prince Will Come." And then later on, they all go to sleep, and then the next morning, and the dwarfs leave. Even Grumpy Snow White actually kisses Grumpy, and something goes through Grumpy, and he actually falls in love with Snow White. And of course, then the Wicked Witch arrives at the cottage, and then Snow White brings her in, and then the animals quickly run to the mine and warn the dwarfs. Of course, it was too late because Snow White had already bitten into the apple, and then she fell into a deep sleep. Of course, when the Queen's about to leave to go back to her castle, the dwarfs chase her out into the forest, and then she reaches the top of a cliff. The Wicked Witch reaches the top of a cliff, and right there is a huge boulder, and then she gets a stick, and she gets the boulder, and the boulder, she's trying to crush the dwarfs with it. Just as the boulder's about to fall and kill the dwarfs, when the Wicked Witch was doing an evil laugh, the part of the cliff she was standing on got struck by lightning, and that part of the cliff she was standing on, since it got struck by lightning, it was starting to fall, and then the Queen fell off the cliff, and the huge boulder and all the other rocks came and crushed her, and then she was dead. The dwarfs come home and they find Snow White dead, and then they hold a little coffin for her in their living room, and then they put her in the middle of the forest because they just could not bury her. And then the prince comes, and then he kisses her, and then they all kneel down, and Snow White gets back up, and they're all happy, and then Snow White brings them to Snow White then goes with the prince all to the castle, and to his castle, and then they get married and they live happily ever after. So that's basically my third episode of Jack Talks. Stay tuned for my next video.